to Heart with Sibongile Mofokeng on Radio Pulpit. Heart to Heart.
Beautiful, hey? On Radio Pulpit, your daily companion. That is Mangaliso and the Song Fountain. Beautiful. I told you, today we come with fresh music, hoping that you're enjoying wherever you're at. I am Sibongile Mofokeng, yes, and this is Heart to Heart with you up until 3 o'clock. At 3 o'clock, we say goodbye to you and Germany. Johan else comes through with something else, and then he continues with you from 4 o'clock. Dots's ear on Spectrum, and after Spectrum you will be joined by Pastor Ray Lechodi on Tuesday Live. So do not touch the dial, do not move. We got special programs for you today. And on the line, I'm joined by the founder and CEO of the AR Business Consulting and Training Institute, Sir Hlayiseka Ngomane. How are you, sir? Oh my, what just happened to let me see. He just got dropped there, and I wonder what just took place. But we are reconnecting. We are going to reconnect with him. We are talking about starting a lucrative business. So I call everyone who is starting out and or you'd like to own your own business soon, and you are trusting God. I am inviting you to join us, join our talk. If you got questions, we would love for you to ask your questions. You know, it's very good to ask questions. If you don't know something or you are asking yourself about something, ask questions. And at the end of the day, those questions will come in handy. They will help you. They will help you. Elaine Els, how are you? Yeah, our phone just got dropped with our speaker, but we are calling him back, and we are talking today about starting a lucrative business. I hope that all is well with you, my queen, wherever you're at. I think he's on the line now. Babu Hlayiseka Ngomane, how are you?
I'm good, and how are you? I'm sorry about that. I don't know what happened on my line.
Hey, you know this technology. We should build something. Yeah, we should come up with a way of making it easy, especially when you are between Pretoria and Bushbuck Ridge.
I must come back.
Yeah, no, I
know. Come back in Pretoria.
Yeah, but hambu zobuya mntwanam. So hambu sobuya manje. So it's got sobuya. So we're talking about starting a lucrative business. And so many of us are thinking about having our own businesses. We would like to do things, have either sell or whatever that we would want to do. A new idea just popped into my mind, and I want to do this. And I love the word lucrative. Maybe if we can start there before we even get to how we start, what is the first step? What exactly are we talking about when we say somebody is building a lucrative business? What is a lucrative business?
I think in simple terms, it's the business that meets the requirement specifications of it to operate, and business that follows the procedures and standards of its own operations.
So that is one thing that needs to be in my mind when I want to start my business.
Yes, that's one thing that needs to be in your mind to say, this business that I want to start, what's the compliance behind it for me to operate legally, for me to be able to sell these services and products to people that it won't harm them or it won't do anything to them. It's been assessed and found suitable for consumption or suitable for use by certain
bodies,
pieces of authority or bodies of authority.
Okay, so compliance is the first thing.
Yes.
Let me greet Gnoguhle Matabela. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. So, okay, compliance. When you're talking compliance as the first thing, Babu Ngomane, what is it? So what is it that I need to check? Because here I am, I made a concoction and it worked in the house. And we drank it and everything was right. We did it again, maybe 4 or 5 times. and or whatever, we applied it, or we sprayed it in the air, and it works wonders. It clears bad odor, or whatever that is. And then or I'm fixing cars. I fix them nicely, and I've already fixed about 12 of the cars. And I'm like, no, now I'm going to start. So what are we talking about? We're already talking about compliance in all these spaces. What should we be looking at when we look in compliance? Yes, you said, is it not going to harm people? What else?
When you're talking about compliance, you're talking about in any business that you are venturing into, the professional bodies have got what we call an SOP, standard operating procedures of anything that you're trying to do. If you followed that, and then they found your product or service is competent, then they will approve it. Hence, that's where we're saying certain products are SAB approved, meaning we've tested it and found that that product is not harmful to for human use. Then one needs to make sure that whatever products that you are doing, you've followed the right SOP for it to be approved so that it does not become harmful to the users.
But now, Babungwa, I've seen a lot of our young people going into the food industry where you find I make kotas, I bake, and then I go out there with my bucket, with my table, and then I put everything there and people come by. How do I make sure that these do not harm anyone? Because I'm asking myself if the law can't also find me guilty if people eat my kotas and they are sick. Maybe about 6 people are sick and I'm reported. Where does
Yes.
compliance come in right there? Because I've seen that a lot of our, especially our young people, I've seen them on the roads with sandwiches that they've made, and they are well packaged, but are they suitable for consumption?
Yeah, compliance come after you've done your product. Our CEDA has got what we call an innovation hub, and it's in partnership with CSIR, where whatever products or services that you are doing, they test them to see if they are suitable for consumption, and then they link you up with the professional bodies like your people that are working with food safety, so that they come and test it if there's nothing harmful. Or if your food is suitable for human consumption, and then they quality test it and approve it to say now you can sell it to the market. So as such that even if an incident can happen, then they can be able to protect you. But if you're gonna be doing your scones without not any professional body approving it and quality test it, then somebody eats it and find it harmful, you're gonna be liable for that person's.
What if I have not? All right, I know Pushback Ridge today is not Pushback Ridging, Pushback Ridge, why are you doing this to us? So we will try to connect again, and I hope this time we are doing it for the last time and it works out for or in our favor, So yeah, hey, most of us have got these businesses, and the question that I have for Ubabungwamani is, what if I have not registered my business? Okay, I think let's try him one way, the other way.
pulpit.
Begin with Buco, and you can hit the road with a brand new trailer. We're giving away 94 trailers nationwide, fully loaded with home building and maintenance supplies to fuel your next project, road trip, or business venture. Spend 1,000 Rand or more in store at Buco. Fill in your entry form and drop it in our competition box. It could be you. Shop, enter, and win with Buco. T's and C's online.
Buco.
The words of the Lord are words of life. Your heart is on 657 AM.
Umthandazo welungisa unamandla ngokugqibeleleyo. iRadio Pulpit yakha uMzantsi Afrika nezizwe zonke ngomthandazo.
You're listening to Radio Pulpit, your daily companion. I'm Sibongile Mofokeng with you up until 3 o'clock. And we gave you the sounds of Pastor Benjamin Dube, I Need Thee. And we are sitting on 27 minutes, just after 2. Do remember, I'm with you up until 3 o'clock. And at 3 o'clock, Germany, Johan says hello to you on something else. And do remember that I'm not alone. I'm with our CEO and founder of the AR Business Consulting and Training Institute. We're talking about starting a lucrative business. And this is what we're talking about. You can send your questions through to us and he will minister unto you. He will answer your questions. And Babu Ngomane, when we got cut off earlier on, I wanted to ask, what if the person hasn't registered their company? What are the dangers they might be facing where compliance is concerned? Because they didn't even register their companies. And I wonder if they even know about things like compliance.
The dangers of people who haven't registered their businesses. If something happens where a person is harmed by your product or anything that you are doing in your business, if maybe it's food or if maybe it's something that it's harmful that can harm somebody, you're gonna be found liable because of you are operating illegally. So if you are operating without the legal papers, that is also an offense and it can be a criminal act. So people are encouraged to register whatever businesses that they are doing. Registering those businesses, you are not only doing it for the government, you're also doing it to protect yourself, so that if something happens, you are checked, or they check your legal compliance documents. They find that you comply, because these things happens in life. Even if you did not do anything wrong, some certain things can go wrong in your company, whereby those legal documents, they're supposed to protect you, to say you were operating legally and you were compliant. It's just that mistakes happen. So if you don't register, that is one of the issues that might happen. And also one of the things that might happen is you find that you want to grow in your business and you need assistance in terms of the government coming in to assist you, whether it's funding in terms of the loan funding or grant funding. You cannot access that because of you are not operating legally. And these government institutions that are designed to help small businesses, they can only help businesses, not individual entities, not people. They help small businesses, meaning even if you are operating quite well, you are making money, your business is employing people, where you are really playing an important role in terms of creating jobs. But if you don't have papers for that, they cannot be able to.
There'll be trouble.
They will send you back to say you need to register your business to show that it's a legal operating business.
Even if I'm a street vendor?
Even if you're a street vendor, there's no such as big businesses and small businesses. All these big businesses started from scratch.
Yeah.
Don't look down upon your small beginnings. Street vendors are people who are creating employment. You'll be surprised. Those mothers who are selling in the streets, they've got employees. They're feeding families. Even if your employees, you're paying them 500 Rand or 1,000 Rand or whatever amount that you're paying them, you are an employer of note, because of somebody is waking up in the morning and saying, I'm going to work to feed my family. You are contributing towards the employment rate of South Africa. So you are a business.
Okay. So, how important is it for one to have a business plan when they're starting a lucrative business?
A business plan is very important. You can't really start a business and not really have one because that is more like a guide in terms of where you are heading towards. I've seen a lot of people who are starting businesses without a business plan. They end up doing this and that and that. They don't have a reference point. Your business plan, it's a reference point in terms of what you want to do. So if you don't have that reference point, you won't even know if you're off ramping or you're doing something that you were not supposed to do. But if you have a business plan, if somebody else comes and say, how about you look at this, you would know that no, my business plan, it's going straight to Joburg, and for me to go to Joburg, I need to go this road and that road and that road to get to where I am. But if you don't have a direction, which is your business plan, you are bound more often to deviate from your main thing that you're trying to solve. Remember, when you're starting a business, you've identified a certain pain areas or opportunities that you want to solve. So where are you going to reference your plan or what you're trying to solve if you don't have a business plan? So you need to have a business plan. It's a must have.
It's a must have. So, is it
Yes.
when we're talking about a business plan, I see people scratching their heads and they're like, "Ngiqalaphi? Where do I begin?" But you're putting it in simpler terms. It's a direction. It gives you direction. It gives your business direction, what you want to do, what you want to achieve. And then it also will tell you how far you can go and how far you cannot.
You
and all
cannot
that.
go. And who are
Yeah.
you
And who
targeting?
are you
And where do you
Yes.
want to sell these products or
Yes.
services? And can your people really afford what you're trying to sell? And how are you going to market it? How are you going to reach to your potential customers? So basically, it's a must-have that must have it in your pocket.
Okay. But now, should it be done? How should it be done? Because I think a lot of people get stuck when they come to what is called a business plan.
We understand that not all of us can do have that capacity to draft a business plan. Hence, our small business department, which is the agency, which is SIDFA, assist with drafting these business plans, and
Oh,
we do as part of SIDFA. We are an access point. My business is an access point for SIDFA, where we do training for entrepreneurs. Where in this training we focus on the basic business skills
okay.
training, where we teach people, we give them a rough a training of how to draft a business plan. And that training will assist you in terms of knowing how to go around drafting your own business plan. But if you want to professionalize it, there are consultants like myself who works with those things, where if you've drafted something, you need clarity or you need help, you can refer to the business consultants to assist you with finalizing it. Or maybe you feel like you didn't put too much effort on it, you need somebody professional to rectify or check it or proofread it. They can do it for you so that you can submit it to whoever that you want to submit it to, or you can put it in your safe place as a point of reference going forward in your journey as an entrepreneur.
Okay. So, what comes first? So, it's registration. And then
Yes.
is it going to be followed by the business plan before you even go to compliance?
I think what comes first thing first, before you can even register, before you can even do a business plan, one needs to have identified a gap or a
Okay.
pain area or an opportunity or a solution that you want to bring into whether it's the community, whether it's South Africa, or whether it's the whole country, that you say, this is what I want to do. And what you want to do needs to be informed with what you've seen, the pain area that you want to design the solution for. So after you've done that, you've identified that gap that you want to solve, then you must then now uh, um, do a research which is now part of your business plan.
Yeah.
And then after that, then you go and register your business. Then you know exactly what your business will be doing because of you've seen to say this is the solution that I want to bring in, and you've deliberated on it in the form of a business plan where you're checking a lot of things, the market, you're researching your demographics, how you're going to market it, and your people if they're affording it, and then you now register your business. After registering your business, now that is part of compliance, and then you get all the papers for you to operate, and then you can then start operating because you've done your research. You have now complied in terms of getting the right documents for you to start.
So you spoke about your bodies like SAB, where you
Yes.
can get your goods tested, your product tested. How do we get access to these? I've heard that there are also some universities in South Africa that offer that service. How do we get to that?
There's an innovation hub that it's by SIDFA. I've always preached that people should know what we have. We are so blessed in South Africa because all these services are there, but we're just too ignorant enough not to go and access them and utilize them. In SIDFA, if you have a product that you need to get tested, if you can approach them and say, "Listen, I'm doing a detergent. I'm not sure if what I've come up with it's good for use. I need it to be tested and get me helped in terms of getting it into the market." They will then incubate your business and call in the required people to come and do the necessary tests and approve it so that they can open up the market. Because remember, they can't open up the market if your product is not tested. So those two things work hand in hand. If your products have been tested by the right bodies, that opens up the market. Because if you right now want to grow and you want to get your product out there, they will say, "Who tested your product?"
Yeah.
And SIDA can do that. Not to say that SIDA will test your product, but SIDA will link you up with the professional bodies that does the testing of your product. Whether you are in whichever field that you are in, they will connect you with the right people.
They will connect you with the right people. So you just it takes one to research, right? You have to make a good research. A family member is asking, what is a strong business plan? I heard somebody talking about a strong business plan that one should have. What is that?
A strong business plan is a business plan that it's clear in terms of who they are targeting, who the target market is, and what value chain are they bringing in, or value proposition that they are bringing in. Because most of the business plans, you find that a person is saying, "I'm bringing in a solution," but what makes you stand out? Or what signature that says Hlayiseka, this is Hlayiseka or this is AR? What makes, because in most cases you find that you are selling tomatoes and I'm selling tomatoes. What makes your tomatoes different from the other people? That's what is going to make your business grow and have longevity and grow into a big business that will employ not one people, not one, not two, but more people in the country. So you need to have a business plan that also addresses that. I know that most business plans we rush into the money part to say we are going to be able to make so much money and then profits and whatnot. But what drives the profits? It's your value proposition. That's one thing that makes you stand out in terms of the services and products that you are producing or that you'll be selling, because that value proposition is the only thing that will make your customer return and come back to you and keep on buying from you because of you offering something that no one else can offer. So a strong business plan, I personally look at the value propositions of what you're doing. That's when I will tell you, okay, this is a strong business plan because of this person sets himself or herself apart from other people who are even doing the same thing as him, but his value proposition is different, and that's what is going to make him succeed.
Sibongile asked Hlayiseka about securing funding for our businesses?
Funding. I know most of us as entrepreneurs we're more interested on that topic. For us as entrepreneurs to secure funding, it takes me back again to compliance. Without compliance, you cannot secure any funding. In
Okay.
all the funding proposal or any call for proposal, one thing that you should be conscious about, they always outline and say, we are looking, the applicants should have da 1 to 3 up until 7, and those are the compliance requirements or the funding required documents that you need to have for you to be able to be funded. So if people want to be funded, the first thing that they should look at is look at what are the funding requirements, which is the compliance, and then one needs to do the reverse engineering and work backwards to get all those compliance. And once you have all those compliance, you don't have to befriend anybody for you to get the funding. Then you will be automatically funded. So you don't close your eyes and hope that you will be funded and hope for a miracle. You work, you reverse engineer the things that is required for that company to be funded. Then if you have all those documentations and you meet all the requirements, you will be funded. Like for example, if I'm gonna be applying for a funding that says a business needs to be at least have 5 years operating, but I know my business, I've just started it last year, and even the CIPC certificate shows that it's 2024. Do I need a miracle for me to get funding? Obviously, I don't qualify because I'm not a target market for that funding. So it's very important for people to apply for funding where they fit the descriptions of the companies that they want. Most fundings, they will tell you, this one we're looking at the startup companies. By startup, meaning you've just started, you don't even have a reviewed financial statement or an audited financial statement, but you only have a proof of bank account, bank confirmation to say you've opened a bank account. Most those fundings, they would maybe be looking and giving you 10,000, 50,000 or whatever, or maybe equipments to boost your businesses. But you go and apply for a funding that says a business needs to have at least operated for 2 years and have an audited financial statement. You are not going to get it.
You're not going
because
to
of
win.
You don't even have
Yeah.
a 6 months a bank statement where they can check if there was money in and money out on that business. So it's very vital for people to read. Hence, it goes back to say a little bit of information, whether it's formal or informal education, it's needed in business because you'll be able to know that, okay, I'm not a target market for that one. For this one, I don't qualify now. It means I still have to work for 2 years and then I'll come back for this one for me to qualify funding.
So I've
for
heard,
startup,
yeah.
yes, for startup business in most cases, there's a lot of grant fundings that caters for
Yeah, the
people who are
grant
just
funding,
starting
yeah.
who don't.
Yeah.
Yes, those ones are not discriminating in terms of wanting a whole lot of a compliance document. They will just say you need to have a certificate for your company, a bank confirmation, your tax clearance, and maybe your BEE, and then that's it. Then they assist you with the grant funding. But if it's going to be a loan funding for a
Sometimes we chase after funding, but some of the funders would like to see the work done before they can even release funds. They want to see if you're doing it. Even the grants ones. How true is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yes,
you have
even
to
the
start.
grant funds, what they do before they fund your business, they will come
Yeah.
and assess it if indeed this business is it's there, because there were people in the past who would apply for funding saying we are doing this and that, only to find that the business does not exist, and the sponsors or funding companies have already invested a lot of money into those businesses, only to find out when they do monitoring and evaluation, the business never existed. So this time around, before they invest anything, they do what we call a due diligence on your company, where they come and see physically if your business is existing, and if you said you are capable of making so much money, hence you applied and you want to improve your or grow your business, they will check if okay, if you give him 1 million, he said he will make 10 million. Then they go through your finances, your bookkeeping, and see okay, this business has got the potential of making so much money. So these days they do verify whatever things that you're applying for to see if where they are going to invest the money is worth investing.
So, what about the business location? How important is that?
The business location plays a very vital role into the success of your business. Meaning, where the location of your business can make or break the success of your business. If I'm gonna be in Bushbuckridge and I'm operating, I'm doing a tourism business in Tulamash, and my per night in my services or rooms, I'm charging 5.5, and the location does not scream the standard of places where they're charging 5.5. I'm not gonna win in terms of the customers, because your location is the one that also tells you if your customers can afford that. If you are in the demographics where even the highest paid people cannot be paid more than 20,000, but your services per night it's 5,000. That tells you you are not going to get consistent customers because of it's too much for the location where you are doing your business in. So most cases, I can give an example. If you're gonna have certain brands, big brands, whereby maybe a T-shirt it's 15,000 one T-shirt, then you have it in the deep rurals where people that are earning their highest pay, it's 15,000 rand.
Sure.
That tells you you're not
Yeah.
gonna have customers.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
location is very important.
Location is very
And location
important, yeah.
also informs your prices and informs how many customers you're going to get in a day, month, or in a year.
So it's very important to look into this factor as well.
Yes.
And marketing. How should
Okay.
we be marketing our businesses to make sure that they thrive?
In this day and age, with marketing, whether we like it or not, we need to go digital marketing. Our born frees, those that are born after 2000 millenniums,
Yeah.
they cannot do anything without their phones. In the 24 hours that we're given in a day, if you can check 16 hours, I'm sure they are sitting on their phones. I was in Nelspruit in a certain school yesterday. I won't mention the school name. As when we're doing the inspections, the learners are there to study. They are in a class, but you can see they're constantly on their phone. Meaning, even in the 8 hours that they're in at school, maybe 4 hours of their time is constantly on phones. So they spend too much time on the social media. So the only way to get these customers is through where they are sitting. They're not sitting in the traditional TVs these days. They're not sitting in the billboards or wherever and whatnot. They're sitting on their phones. So if you can't find them there, you won't get the customers. So whatever business that you're doing, try and seek these potential customers in the digital media or in the social media platforms, because that's where they are hiding.
So our cell phones have become billboards now.
Our cell phones has become billboards. If you were to invest too much money on marketing your business, invest it on the social media.
Okay.
Because that is where you'll get these customers. I'm telling you right now, for me to go and do a poster and put it in the mall, the chances of people seeing it than the chances of people seeing my post, it's very high on the post that I'm going to do than in the corner in a certain mall, whereby I'm paying for just putting in my poster.
Thousands.
Yeah. I've got a lot of millions of people that might even see my tweet in Twitter. If you are very strong in Twitter, you post today, within an hour, a lot of people have already seen your post. So rather invest much on where the people are hiding than the traditional media.
And what about word of mouth?
Yeah, the word of mouth, we're still doing it, but it kind of limits the amount, the people that you can reach in a day. Like for example, if we have, I see it when we have walk-ins where we go to advertise the business in the malls. If that day in the mall, like our mall here where we are, it's so small. If that mall maybe has got a capacity of 1,000 people, maybe in that particular day you should have reached maybe 500 people. But when you put it in the social media and just maybe boost the page, you would reach more than that number, 10 times the number, or even 30 times the number in that particular day. So you see that I rather engage where there's too much audience than the less audience.
All righty then. Our time is up. I think next time we have to go piece by piece and go deeper into maybe a business plan, or go deeper and explain some of these factors that we need to put into place when we are building a lucrative business. But thank you so much for coming through and empowering us this afternoon. For those who'd like to be in contact with you or AR Business Consulting and Training Institute, how do they do so?
They can find me from 072 651 6187. That is my personal number. And then for the business number, it's 064 002 0504. And then they can also find us on our social media platforms. We go by the handle AF Business Consulting and Training Institute on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That's the handle that we use. They can also find us from our website page, which is www.afbusiness.co.za. And then on the landline from the office, it's 013 170 5626.
Thank you so much, Ngomane, for talking to us, and all of God's best. Siyokhuluma nawe very soon.
Thank you very much.
And that, my family, is the founder and CEO of the AR Business Consulting and Training Institute. Do remember, you can get hold of them on 013 170 5626. It's 013 170 5626 or on 064 002 0504. Alternatively, you can just drop him a WhatsApp on 072 651 6187. And all of God's best as you are building your own business. And yes, do pray about it. Ask for guidance. May the Lord lead you into what kind of business that you have to do. And all of God's best and all of good success for you in what you put your hand to do. I'm signing out. Next up is Germany. Johan else on something else, and we say hello to Germany. I'm going to leave you with the sounds of Dudumbata featuring Zuko. I Can Do All Things just after we come back from